My husband and I struggled with infertility for 5 years. We had 6 unsuccessful rounds of in vitro fertilization, and we're finally told that we needed to either consider adoption or surrogacy. And at that point, my mother and father stepped forward and asked if my mother could carry our children, or our child. My mother got tested, and my 55-year-old mother was able to do what I was not at 30 years old. She was able to conceive my triplets, and on December 28th, she delivered my babies. We decided that we needed to start an organization that would be able to connect people who were struggling with infertility with people who had already overcome that challenge. We wanted this organization that we would start to be able to provide grants to support needy families, because we never felt like cost should be an issue that would prevent someone who was otherwise able to love and care for a child from having that chance.
That was one of a huge barrier for us, for both state employees. We have very high medical bills. We have really good insurance, but it makes it really hard to, to be able to afford, medical treatment that your insurance does not cover.
And a lot of these opportunities exist, but it's surprising at how many times people don't really look further than, they don't apply to these things.
Ready? Here we go. Ready.
There we go. I had no idea that there were any organizations that would help people pursue fertility treatment.
Our family building grants provide up to $10,000 per family to help with the cost of domestic adoption or medical fertility treatment. I was so fortunate to become involved with Shady Grove really because of Dr. Frank Chang. I met him at an infertility-focused event and shared with him what my thoughts were, what my plans were. He immediately decided to get involved and has been a real champion for us.
So it worked out very well that we could help another foundation really that had the same goals as Shady Grove to provide the resources and the education to patients about infertility. So it really was a perfect marriage in a lot of ways.
Shady Grove doctors have been very quick to respond to any requests for physician support.
Just support of all the staff here and the physicians here has allowed it, I think, to grow exponentially. So I attribute a lot of the growth really to the efforts of the physicians and the entire staff and everybody at Shady Grove.
Shady Grove hosted our 4th Race for the Family last year. And it was the biggest, most successful event we've ever had.
For me to go out and set up a race or be involved in helping to set up a race was a big leap for me, but I think that all of us have to look to do that, because otherwise you don't know what you're capable of doing.
Not only did the volunteers come out on race day, and I think that we had over 120 people come out just to help us carry out the race on race day. We had every office holding small-scale fundraisers, rallying up their personal friends and colleagues from outside of Shady Grove. Everyone got involved on some level, and it was a lot of fun, and we felt so loved and embraced by the Shady Grove community.
So it was really great to see that through our efforts, Shady Grove, we were able to raise awareness about the race and really the level of contribution from corporate sponsors and just people in the community was great, and we raised over $60,000. So if we never had this race, we would have never been able to raise the amount of money and awareness, and so I think it's important to do that. So for me, it was great.
All right, let's see. Everybody said the 8-week is so much better than the 6-week.
Well, we're in my 9th week.
She keeps bringing that up, but we've only completed 8 weeks.
We've been married about 10 years, and we adopted our first child from China. Bo is now 7 years old. He was 4 when we brought him home, and we are so proud of him. And then after that happened, we were thinking about trying to add to our family.
So what is Bo saying?
He's confused with why the baby doesn't look like a baby yet, you know, I think. He wants the baby to come on out so he can play with the baby. We always wanted a sibling, for Bo especially. I've always wanted several children.
So the Sharps are a wonderful family. They're a loving family. And I just fell in love with them when I read their application.
Yes. We were one of 6 out of 121 families who were chosen to receive a grant.
To know that you've had some effect on families. And when you see these families, particularly at the time of the dinners when they come and they talk about how gratified they are about the amounts of money they've been able to get.
We attended the banquet to receive the grant, and wow, what an outpouring of love.
The story is unique in that David had a spinal cord injury several years ago.
I had a motorcycle accident in '94.
And we knew that with my husband's paralysis, and based on doctors' discussions, we knew exactly the path we needed to go.
How are you? Good, I'll see you guys in a minute. And therefore for pregnancy, sperm would need to be surgically retrieved, and therefore IVF is needed for pregnancy purposes.
Jennifer, come on in.
IVF is in vitro fertilization. Just like before, Jennifer and David, give us a minute. We'll take a look at everything, but everything looks very reassuring. Jennifer had one IVF cycle, and we're happy that it was successful.
Wow.
So today, what I'm hoping to see is a pregnancy with the heartbeat.
How big is baby at this point?
2 centimeters.
Growing like a weed.
Having that little one inside my womb is amazing.
Appropriate heartbeat, appropriate size. All looks good.
So excited that they are now going to be delivering another Kate Foundation baby.
Pictures for both of you. There's several in there, okay?
It's amazing that we have the technology to be able to see all this, and even go through the whole process too. It's awesome.
All the grant winners probably would not have been able to have the opportunity to have had children without having somebody help them like the Kate Foundation. So to know that you've had some effect, without knowing that I had the backing of the Shady Grove practice, I would have never done this, because it would not have been possible.
I can honestly say that I am grateful for my infertility, because if I had not struggled so mightily and been so completely blessed and overwhelmed in a wonderful way with being a mom and with that experience, I know that I would not have had the desire to leave my career and to start a nonprofit to serve families with infertility.
There's no follow-up appointment.
I'm so looking forward to this next Race for the Family, which I'm sure is going to be even better, more gratifying. There'll be more people who walk away really excited about serving other families with infertility.
It was a combination between the Tanina Q. Kate Foundation and Shady Grove Fertility.